Spreading all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome to another Madden rebuild. Today, we are going to do a team, we're going to be rebuilding a team that I don't think I ever imagined I would actually do a legitimate World of Juice rebuild on, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs. So let me give you a little bit of background. As of recording this, the Chiefs just played on Monday Night Football against the Jacksonville Jaguars and lost. They are now, I think, 1-4 on the season, if I'm not mistaken. And usually in the game of Madden, the Chiefs are a team you just simply avoid when you're rebuilding teams because the Chiefs are always ungodly good. So they don't ever need a rebuild because they're ungodly good in real life. But for some reason, this year is different. This year, not only in the game of Madden, but in real life, the Chiefs are struggling. Mahomes is not looking like Mahomes as much. Travis Kelce's fine but old. The offensive line's okay. The receiving core's weird. You got injuries to a couple of people. Xavier Worthy doesn't get a lot of usage. The defense is strange. Chiefs are a weird team this year. And they're not playing that well in real life. In the game of Madden, on the other hand, they always simulate unbelievably well. But this year, I think EA Sports nerfed them a little bit. I think the playbook got nerfed. Now, I've seen them win Super Bowls and MVPs, and Mahomes win MVPs in the past in these simulations, but not as dominant as they had been for the past 4 or 5 years. So I thought, when is the next time I'm going to be able to get a chance to rebuild an actual legitimate rebuild with the Chiefs? It's probably never going to happen again. Or if it does, it'll be a couple years down the line after they've blown it up. But right now is the best opportunity. They're not doing well in real life as of recording this video. We're going to rebuild them in the game, and I think this might be the first time I've ever legitimately rebuilt the Kansas City Chiefs. Without having like any gimmicks or anything. I've had rebuilds using the Chiefs in the past, but it's usually had some sort of a challenge or gimmick attached to it where I have to trade every player on the team and then rebuild the Chiefs, or I have to do a fantasy draft and I use the Chiefs as the team because you never rebuild them normally. But this time, I actually get to use the actual Chiefs roster to rebuild them and do it the legitimate World of Juice way. I cannot wait. I hope you guys are going to enjoy. If you do, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. If you have another team you want to see me rebuild in the future, leave them down below in the comments and I will take them on in a future video. But let's get into it and let's rebuild a former juggernaut of a team that's kind of down on their luck right now. This is the roster that we're working with, and yes, you might think on the surface that this team doesn't really need to be rebuilt that much, but they're not that good when you actually like take a look at it. Like, you've got 81 overall Isaiah Pacheco, you've got Kareem Hunt, who's older at this point. The receiving core, do you have a number one receiver? Xavier Worthy, is he your number one receiver? Is Rashee Rice your number one receiver? I don't know. Let's generate the best lineup to get Rashee Rice back up there. Is he the best receiver? Maybe. Is Xavier Worthy your number one receiver? There's a lot of questions up here. Former Patriot Tyquan Thornton, right there. Offensive line, like I said in the intro, is fairly good. You got Smith and Humphrey, who are both good. Suamatia, I don't know how to say it. Kingsley, and then Josh Simmons. So you got a good young offensive line, at least on the left side. Some veterans, some experienced guys in the middle, and then you've got Jawan Taylor, who's fine. He's whatever. An aging Travis Kelce. And then on defense, it's okay, I guess. Chris Jones is still good, but he's old. You've got Tranquil, who's good. I love Nick Bolton. I'm a big Nick Bolton guy. You've got Leo Chenal, who's fine. Karlaftis is a good young player. Some rookies and some younger guys on the secondary and defensive line as well. Trent McDuffelbag is a great player. There's some pieces to this team, but they need some help. They definitely need some help, and that's what we're here to do. Now, since we are using the Chiefs, I would assume that this rebuild's not going to take that long. But we're still going to do it because the Chiefs in real life are struggling, and I thought it'd be the best time to rebuild them in the game since they're struggling in real life. So let's get started here. We're going to simulate the first season. I don't think I'm going to trade anybody. What's the salary cap situation looking like? I'm in the wrong thing. What kind of money are we paying out? So obviously Mahomes is the most expensive, as you would expect. But he's locked up for 7 seasons, so we don't have to worry about a quarterback. We never were going to have to worry about a quarterback, but we don't ever have to worry about a quarterback. Chris Jones, Trey Smith, these guys are all locked up for a while. Jawan Taylor is making a lot of money for somebody who's not necessarily that good. Karlaftis got a new extension. Creed Humphrey's locked up. Nick Bolton. Kelsey's going to need a contract extension. Very interesting. Jalen Moore is getting paid way too much money, in my opinion. So is Mike Dana. A lot of these guys are getting paid way more money than they should. Can I trade Jawan Taylor for anything? Jacob Martin, LaFau, Kendre Miller. Not a whole bunch for Jawan Taylor. I thought maybe I could grab something. He's only 27, so it's not like we have to get rid of him. He could develop. He could turn into something, but I feel like we could get somebody better and cheaper. There's got to be somebody out here that could be better and is slightly cheaper. Like if we go after maybe Fuaga could be good, but maybe we try to rookie Emory Jones possibly. Abraham Lucas might not be a bad one. He's a 76. He's already a higher overall, and he's a lot cheaper. He's on a rookie deal. Can I get... He's 1 year younger. Can I get Abraham Lucas? I can. Okay. So I can grab Abraham Lucas. He can be our new right tackle. He's a lot cheaper. What can I give away? What can I give away? What can I give away? I don't really know. I mean, I could probably give away like Elijah Mitchell. Or maybe I give up Kareem Hunt. Do I really need Kareem Hunt? I have Pacheco. I don't really need Juju. I could give up Juju. I don't need Juju. And there it goes. Jawan Taylor and Juju go to the Seahawks for Abraham Lucas. So we get a slightly younger, but a lot cheaper right tackle, which is really nice. So he's a lot cheaper than what we were paying Jawan Taylor. And he's a year younger and a 1 overall higher, so there's a chance that he could develop. I think that's probably going to be the only move that I make, because everybody else I kind of want to keep on this team for the first season, see how we simulate. But I want to see how this team does. I'm assuming we're going to simulate pretty well, but I don't know for sure. Let's get into the season and figure out. I'm going to simulate year number 1. We'll see how we do, and maybe this team is going to be better than I thought in the game, because previously, like, there's been a lot of simulations that I've done in the past where in this game so far that the Chiefs have not done very well. I've even seen the Chiefs in like picking in the top 5 of the draft at times. So I don't know. This could be up in the air. This is a wild card of a first year simulation. I have no idea how this is going to go. Let's find out. Season 1 is in the books, and it looks like we were the number 1 seed. In fact, we were the number 1 seed. 13 wins. The Chiefs simulate pretty well. That's not what I'm used to in Madden 26, at least. Excuse me, I thought that they would simulate pretty bad. But we did get 4,900 yards and 45 touchdowns with Mahomes. Love to see it. Then we had 785 yards and 13 touchdowns with Isaiah Pacheco. 2 1,000-yard receivers. Marquise Hollywood Brown, 1,300 yards, 20 touchdowns. So Xavier Worthy doesn't get a lot of usage. It's Brown, Rice, and then Kelsey. Very interesting. 1,200 yards for Rice and 6 touchdowns. 6 touchdowns and 900 yards for Travis Kelsey. Worthy, 797 7. Defensively, we had 143 tackles for Nick Bolton, 135 for Drew Tranquil. Shamari Connor had 109. Tackle for loss leader was Chris Jones with 12. Not a surprise there. Karlaftis had 9. Derek Nottie had 8. 10.5 sacks for Chris Jones is the lead. Nottie had 9.5. Man, Derek Nottie coming out of nowhere, putting up big numbers. 5.5 for Karlaftis, 5 for Mike Dana. And then interception numbers, 3 for Chamari Connor. Pretty cool. Maybe he'll have a depth chart upgrade. That'd be sick. 2 interceptions for Tranquil and Fulton. And then a couple of guys had 1. And that is where we start the postseason. Against the Raiders. The Raiders. What do we got? Big win or a letdown? A letdown. I hate Madden so much, man. I hate this freaking game so much. All right, year number 1's over. We go to the offseason. We should have a decent amount of cap room, but as we are looking at the salaries, not a lot of guys, at least the expensive guys, are even up for a new contract yet. So we got some time. Hollywood gets an upgrade point. Good for him. It is the Niners and the Raiders in the Super Bowl. So the Raiders go from divisional round, I guess technically wild card round, all the way to the Super Bowl. And they lost to the Niners. They lost to the Niners. Very suck for them. Season recap. We've got Jair Brown winning MVP for the Niners. Patrick Mahomes, MVP. Then Brandon Ayuk and Greg Rousseau are the players of the year, and Amarian Hampton and Nick Scorton, the rookies of the year. All right, let's get to the off season. Get to the re-sign period. Did they change the way that this looks? Chase Young gets traded to the Steelers, by the way, if you care about that. Did they change the way that this looks? Because it used to be, I don't remember it being 2 different staff weeks. Was it like that always? I don't know. Maybe they worded it differently. I don't know. It looks a little different. So Leo Chenal, Pacheco, Hollywood Brown, who went up to superstar, by the way. I don't think he was superstar before. Charles Omenihu, Brian Cook. There's a lot of very decent players here that I would like to have back. We might have to dig into our bag here and go for a little restructuring, which I didn't really want to do after year 1, but looks like this is probably where we're gonna have to be. So let's restructure Mahomes. That's gonna free up a ton of money right off the bat. We'll restructure Chris Jones, and we'll restructure Trace. Oh, nope, can't do that. Can't do Karlaftis. We can do Creed Humphrey, though. That should be enough to get everybody back. Just those guys alone, especially Mahomes. All right, so we got $80 million, and thankfully everybody wants to be here, so it shouldn't be as expensive as it could be. Leo Chenal definitely went back. He's going to develop like crazy, and he's going to return. Thank you. What about Pacheco? We definitely need to get Pacheco back because we need a running back. So we'll offer him a 4-year deal. We'll give him $4 million and $5 million, and he's gonna say yes. So he's returning. Why does he look so mean in the picture? Hollywood Brown, I'll give a contract back to because he had a good season. So I'll reward him, and he will return. 3-year deal. Charles Omenihu, I'll get Brian Cook back because he's cheap and he's young. Definitely want to get him back. We'll give him 5.5 and 5, or 4.5 and 4.5. He's returning. Welcome back. Elijah Mitchell, Jalen Watson. I'll offer Jalen Watson a contract because we need some cornerback depth, and I don't really have a plan. So we'll get Jalen Watson back. He's not that expensive. Derek Nottie had a good year. Tyquan Thornton. I'll offer Tyquan Thornton a contract because he's a Patriot. He was a Patriot, although he sucked on the Patriots. But we could use an extra receiver. And then we've got Kareem Hunt, which we could probably let go, especially if we bring back Elijah Mitchell. So let's offer Elijah Mitchell a contract. And then we can let Kareem Hunt walk. The top 2 are going to be pretty interesting. Felix and Dwike, how do you say that? Felix and DK Uzama. Is that how you say it? I think that's how you say it. We'll offer his option, or we'll accept his option. Gardner Minshew got an updated picture. Good for him. And then Matt Ariza, obviously, we're going to bring back because he's a punter, so we just want to have one on the team so we don't have to worry about it. He's going to return. But Charles Omenihu and Derek Nottie, I don't know what I want to do with them just yet. I don't think we need Joshua Williams back, especially if we brought back the other guy. Kareem Hunt, we're not going to bring back. Nazeed Johnson, no. Gardner Minshew, I don't need, especially not at $20 million. Jerry Tillery, no. I mean, Derek Nottie's not that expensive. I can get a 2-year deal with him. He had a solid season. But then Charles Omenihu, I wonder if I can maybe package him in a trade. That might be something. Vernon Broughton? Ooh. That's not that bad, actually. That's kind of an intriguing little trade offer. What do I need? Why does it say we need a quarterback as our number one need? We have the best quarterback in the league. Very strange decision, or a very strange thing to say that we need a quarterback. We have pick number 27 in the draft this year. We could use a backup quarterback if I'm going to trade away, or if I'm going to let Gardner Minshew go. So I might trade a Menahu for a backup quarterback, I guess. What kind of backup quarterback can we grab? Looks like Shador's going to be the starter. He's an 80 overall with star dev. Why couldn't that have been in my franchise? That would have been super nice. Who's a backup quarterback I can get? Anthony Richardson. He's 10.6 million for Anthony Richardson's insane. Joe Milton, sure, why not? Let me trade for Joe Milton. Charles Omenihu. No, the Cowboys have no money. I hate the Cowboys, man. Who else can I grab? Mac Jones, 3.98 million. That's pretty expensive for Mac. But you know what? Give me Mac Jones as my backup quarterback. You can have Charles Omenihu. Really? I thought that would go through straight up, honestly. Who else is under? Who else? Oh, Kareem Hunt. I can toss in the deal. There we go. That's kind of an insane trade. But Mac Jones is now the backup quarterback for us. He'll need a new contract next season. We probably won't bring him in or bring him back, but at least we have a backup this year. So let's advance to the free agent period. We don't have that much money since we had to re-sign those guys. But maybe we can bring in one guy. Kevin Zeitler, Joe Batonio, Taylor Moton, a lot of offensive linemen, but our offensive line is pretty good. We don't really need anybody on the offensive line. We don't really need anybody in this free agency class at all. There's nobody here that I really need. Our cornerback room, if anything, can be improved in the drafts. The only thing maybe we could offer Rico Dowdle, he just had a big game in real life. I wouldn't hate an offer on Rico Dowdle to be another running back. I know we re-signed Elijah Mitchell, but there's Minshew. Is there another backup quarterback I could get? Deshaun Watson? There's a couple of backup quarterbacks in here. Jake Browning, one of the worst quarterbacks in football. But I think we'll just stick with Mac Jones. We'll offer Rico Dowdle a contract, see if he wants to be a backup running back for the boys, and we'll go from there. He doesn't accept the offer after the first time, but he does after the second time. So we spend a little bit of money on Rico Dowdle. I know that kind of seems like a waste because we have Elijah Mitchell as the backup, but that frees up possibility of trading Elijah Mitchell, I guess. Maybe he could become a trade piece. Who knows? Anything can happen. Did the 49ers just sign both Javonte Williams and Rachaad White? That seems a little crazy. All right, so we moved to the draft. I did scout Mario Shepard. I scouted Blake Donald, and I think I scouted Trent Dickinson as my 3 focus players for Week 13. Unfortunately, I didn't change the scout, so it used quarterback as our main scout, our national scout. I guess I should have realized that, or should have paid a little bit more attention. So we're going to be drafting pretty late in the first round. So we're going to have to look for somebody, but I don't even really know what we need. USC strong safety? No, I don't see a USC strong safety. We could use maybe a safety. Cameron Slate could be good. Or maybe this guy, Josh Corona. Let's scout him and see how good he is. The corners are not that good this year. There's only one that has A zone coverage in the top of the draft. Very interesting. These guys do not look that good. What about linebackers? There's a couple guys with A awareness, but nobody that looks phenomenal. Mike linebackers. This guy, Connor Morris, could be something. He's got really all-around solid stats. Sam linebacker. Okay, there's a couple Sam linebackers that could be intriguing. We could always use another D tackle because Chris Jones, you never know when he's going to start to fall off a little bit. So I think I might use my last 2 on these other 2 D tackles because we're probably going to take at least a D tackle in this draft. I don't know if it's going to be first round or not, but we're at least going to take one in this draft, I would think. All right, let's figure out how good those guys are. So we scouted the free safety. Yeah, so he's around 2 to 3. He looks not horrible. I've seen worse, but I don't think we'll get him in the first round, obviously. And then how are those 2 D tackles looking? So they're both around 1 to 2. All right, so the top of the D tackle class is not amazing. The mock draft has what's it got? So a lot of quarterbacks going at the top, but they're not that good quarterbacks. Both of these top five projected quarterbacks are 2 to 3 true talents. Brian Fulton, he's not the first D tackle off the board. Where's the one that's a round one talent? Wait, where is the one that is a round one talent? They have us taking a corner. Did I pass him already? Yeah, okay, here he is. Blake Donald. I was gonna say there's no way he's fallen to the not in the first round. Excuse me. I just missed him. He's number 2 to the Texans, and then the other two D tackles are 6 and 7. So if I'm gonna take a D tackle, I probably have to take one a little later. I guess I maybe should have scouted a little bit deeper in the draft, but there could be some guys down the board, like this guy in round 3 to 4, Tyrone Tatum could be solid. This guy down the board, Javier Cordova, could be good. I guess we'll just jump into the draft and see what happens. That's really all we have to do. I mean, I'm probably not going to trade around. We'll probably just get to our pick and see what's available. They have us projected to take a corner, which I don't think I'm going to do. I feel like we're pretty good at corner. There is a quarterback still on the board. We could grab a tight end to have a replacement for Travis Kelce, but I don't think we're going to go that deep into this rebuild where we're going to need a corner or a tight end, a backup tight end. I think Travis Kelce will be good like the whole time, this whole rebuild. I would like to think that's the case. There is a decent running back in here in Jonathan Quintana. But there's two tight ends at the top of the board. Jose Vega, with great speed, elite agility, looks fairly good. Could be the next Travis Kelce. And then you got Junior Kendricks, who also looks okay, but not as good athletically. So Jose Vega would probably be my guy if I'm going to go that route. Charleston Tuck is a great name, but he doesn't look amazingly. And that's really all the wide receiver options. I mean, you got some of these guys down here, but I think I'm going to take that tight end. I mean, we don't really need that much. I'm going to grab the tight end, Jose Vega. He's number 67 in true value. He's got normal dev, but playing in that Travis Kelce role, he could be a good player. And it's not like he has to start right away. He can develop behind Travis for right now. The free safety is still here, Josh Corona. I think I might grab him. I wasn't sure if he was going to still be here or not. He's number 58 in true value. We got him at 59. He's also normal dev. Man, okay. 2 swings and misses on the dev traits. What else do we got? We got the quarterback still here. We do have to probably grab a D tackle. Okay, so what's available? What's available? D tackles, D tackles. It looks like a lot of the good D tackles that I had marked are probably gone, except for Javier Cardona or Cordova. So I think I'll just grab him. Javier Cordova, 84 in true value, also normal dev. 3 for 3 on normal dev players, man. I am striking out on those guys. I think the next thing we just got to do is look for who's the fastest guy left. These guys didn't run at the combine. We got a wide receiver who ran a 4.3. You know what? Emmett Hahn, you ran a 4.3. That's good enough for me. He's number 160 in true value, also normal dev, but 94 speed, 93 excel. I'll take it. It's not anything amazing. We got no hidden devs that entire draft, but I feel like we filled some backup needs. We got a backup tight end. We got a backup D tackle. We did okay. It's nothing too splashy. 73 overall for the tight end, 73 for the free safety, 71 for the tackle, 67 for the receiver. Then they took a strong safety who's a 64. All right, it's not the greatest draft I could have ever had, but it's a fine one. It serves a purpose. And this draft class in general was not that good. Elton White ends up being the highest overall player. He got in the 4th round by the Falcons. That's a steal. Charleston Tuck ends up being a 78. Maybe I should have taken him. Although he's only got 89 speed. He's the 3rd highest player. We had a chance to take him. I looked at him. I definitely looked at him. But Elton White being a 79 and being in the 4th round is kind of crazy. But that draft was not that good. A 79, only 179, and it's your highest player. That's not an ideal auto-generated draft. We didn't really get a good one there. But I do think we are a good team. Let's generate the best lineup. So we're looking pretty solid. Sua Matia gets upgraded a little bit. Oh, Kelce retired at the first season. No! Oh, that's not good. I'm going to start Vega at tight end. Oh, never mind. I can't because he's the fullback. Rico Dowdle can be the fullback for now. Wow, I forgot that Kelsey retired after the first year. Okay, that's kind of intriguing. So I guess it is a good thing we got a tight end then. So the defense is still looking pretty solid. I would expect all these guys to continue to develop. But I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to be good. I'm going to go into the next season, and hopefully I'm going to get good luck on the sim. I'll catch you guys at the end of year number 2. Year 2 is in the books, and we go 13-4. Unfortunately, this time, not the number 1 seed. I don't know who got it. I guess we could check. It is the Ravens, 15-2. The Ravens go unbelievably insane and have a crazy good season. So they got the number 1 seed, but we won 13 games. We make the wild card as the 2 seed. I'm okay with that. Let's take a look at these stats here in year number 2. So 4,500 yards, 33 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Not as good of a season as last year, but still a solid, really, really good season from Mahomes. 1,000 yards, 1,100 to be exact, and then 15 touchdowns for Pacheco. So that's where some of the yards went. They went to Pacheco. 4.2 per carry. Hollywood had 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns. Xavier Worthy finally getting in the show. 1,100 yards exactly with 5 touchdowns. And Jose Vega, look at my man rumble. Maybe I am a drafting god after all, because 913 yards and 7 touchdowns from the rookie. He is good. 862 and 6 for Rashee Rice. And then defensively, Drew Tranquill leads the team in tackles, 136. Nick Bolton right behind him with 121. Noel Williams. Wow, I didn't really talk much about Noel Williams in the beginning of this video, but Noel Williams, good young rookie in real life, and now he's in his second year and he puts up 108 tackles and 2 picks. All right, maybe we got something at corner with Noel Williams. I don't know. Chamari Connor, 92 tackles. What about tackles for loss? Carl Loftus had 14. Jones had 10. 8 for Mike Dana. How'd the rookie do? Where's he at? He might not have played much. Yeah, it doesn't look like he played much at all. Josh Corona had a little bit of stuff. He had 2 assists, 4 tackles. He didn't play much. That's okay. He'll get his reps at some point. Sack leader is Chris Jones with 12.5, 11 for Karlaftis. Dana had 6, so did Noddy. And then interception leader Chamari Connor had 3, 2 for a couple of guys, and then 1 for a few others. All right. Good numbers, good numbers. And now we take on the Buffalo Bills in a classic playoff rivalry here in modern NFL. Chiefs and Bills. What's going to happen, though? We do win. You love to see it. You love to see it. And we do have a breakout scenario for somebody. I think it's Noel Williams. When I was doing the stuff, it is Noel Williams. The scouting, the national scouting, the all that kind of stuff. There was a couple of breakouts those weeks. So it looks like his third breakout is right here, apparently. But now we take on the Patriots for a trip to the AFC Championship. Another classic rivalry. Chiefs-Patriots. We win. We play for an AFC Championship against the Chargers. The Ravens lost, by the way. Has Noel got it, actually? I don't think Noel's gotten up to another dev trait. We will take on the Chargers in the AFC Championship game, which means we're going to jump in. Let's see what happens. Can we get back to the Super Bowl with Mahomes? We got to beat the Chargers first. AFC Championship in a familiar place. It is Arrowhead Stadium. Chargers come into hostile territory. Justin Herbo, see what he can do, but Mahomes is still king. 14-6, we lead in the second half, but Chargers get on the board. 14-14, now it's 21-14. All right, boys, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Let's not lose this game. It's 3rd and 9. Mahomes has a chance. I see Vega out there. He's probably my guy, although I'm going to have to hit Pacheco probably. There's Isaiah Pacheco, first down, Chiefs. And now we got to try to score. Do we go for 2? That's the big question. Probably not. Let's just focus on the touchdown first. Probably don't need to go for 2. Big catch, Worthy. Big catch, big catch, big catch. And then we call the exact same play. But then we look to the opposite side. We hit the rookie, Vega with the catch. He's wearing a weird arm sleeve. I was not expecting the pattern on that. But Vega with a big catch. And then we're going to drop it down to him again. He's wide open. He gets another catch. Vega is dominating. But now we roll out to the side. And we run it in with Patrick Mahomes. It's easy money. It's easy money, light work, baby. We tie the game at 21. We have the football with a chance to win it. And we are at the 29 of I almost said San Diego, of Los Angeles. Handoff. It's Isaiah Pacheco. Timeout called by the cheater. He's got 2 remaining. All we got to do is use those timeouts. We could just kick a field goal. There's Vega with a big first down. Another timeout called by the cheater. Let's give a run for Pacheco. Handoff up the middle. Look at Isaiah Pacheco go! A crazy good play. Crazy good play. And that's all the Charger timeouts. That is all the Charger timeouts. Pacheco going down to the 6. What is gonna happen? What is gonna happen? Don't worry, we're not passing this ball. I'm just gonna change it to a run. We're about to be under a minute. Pacheco handoff again. Just run it up the middle. I'm just trying to take this to the end of the game. I'm not trying to score. I guess if I do score, it's not the end of the world as long as the time is gone. Or a lot of time is gone. But I think I'd be okay with a handoff to Pacheco. And he's down at the 4. I think I'm okay with that. We are going to kick this field goal. We're going to win 24-21, and then we are going to go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl and have the Chiefs back. The Chiefs will be back. They'll be rebuilt. We got ourselves a stud at tight end, that's for sure. Vega is a freak. We'll call our timeout. 2 seconds remaining. Kick our 21-yard field goal. It is a little bit of an angle, but I should still be able to drill, especially with how slow the meter's going. That one is up. And it is not wide right for Harrison Butker. It is good. And the Chiefs are headed back to the Super Bowl. Taking some time off, a year off from the Super Bowl. That's okay. Because we get there in the end. And we are 1 game away from rebuilding this Kansas City Chiefs team. If we're able to win a Super Bowl here, we will go another year. Just so that it's not a 2-year rebuild, obviously. We will go another season. But it looks like Javier Cordova had a good season of development as well. And what happened for the DB breakout of Noel Williams? He's got chance to growth. He now has X Factor development? Oh my God, Noel Williams is now an X Factor. Okay, well that kind of takes away my thought of maybe drafting a corner in the draft this year. We're taking on the Eagles. Of course we are. We are taking on the Eagles. Noel Williams at 88 overall now. What is happening? I got to take a look at this. So on offense, Josh Simmons is superstar. We're looking pretty good. Suamati is developing. Vega's now star dev. He's playing amazingly. Good thing I started him. The rest of the offense is looking good. What about the defense? We've got Noel Williams and X Factor is crazy. We have 2 unbelievable corners now with McDuffie and Williams. Cordova's a 77. Yeah, we're here. We have arrived. We have arrived. I might even start. I'm going to switch the team. I'll generate the best lineup and start Cordova over Nadi. We are back, baby. This Chiefs team is back. They are back to being good. And we are going to win a Super Bowl here. It's just that simple. We're going to take this Super Bowl from the Eagles, get our revenge, and win another one from Mahomes. Make sure that he is established as the second greatest quarterback of all time. It is Super Bowl time for your Chiefs as we take on the Philadelphia Eagles in a matchup that has basically become a guarantee. It's going to be the Chiefs and the Eagles in the Super Bowl. But let's see what happens. We've got to win this game if we want Mahomes to get back on the mountaintop. And it looks like we might be in control of it. 17-7. Philadelphia gets a touchdown back. All right, I'm a little bit scared now. I'm a little bit scared. It's 17-17 with 1:19 to go. Are we really going to go 2 for 2 on field goals in the playoffs to win games? We'll see. Got to get in that spot in the first place here. Here we go. We're going to go underneath to Xavier Worthy. He should have enough speed to get away, and he does. Xavier Worthy down the sideline. Xavier Worthy! Oh, my God! Talk about field goal. We don't need a field goal anymore. Xavier Worthy takes us all the way to the 12. He might have got us too many yards on that one. Now all we got to do is run the ball with Pacheco, and he's going to get us into the end zone. I mean, I wasn't trying to get in. It kind of just happened that way. But we score in 2 plays, and we possibly have this game won. It's 4th and 2. Philly has 1 timeout remaining. They need a touchdown to tie. Hurts fires. It's Barkley. He keeps his feet up. He's not going to be caught or not going to be stopped for a turnover. We had it stopped. Unfortunately for Philadelphia, they can't score the touchdown, and the Kansas City Chiefs are back on top of the football world. It's only been a couple of years, but this Chiefs team has been rebuilt. We added in Abraham Lucas over Jawan Taylor. I think that was a good move. We drafted a great tight end to replace Travis Kelce. And we are back, baby. The Chiefs have been rebuilt. Congratulations to them. We are going to go one more season, like I said, so that's not just a 2-year rebuild. We will go one more season. See if we can repeat as champs. But Noel Williams being as good as he's done is kind of the bright spot of this whole episode, of this whole video. Like, who would have thought that Noel Williams would become an X Factor in just 2 seasons? Kind of insane. Kind of insane. Cam Hayward puts up the cleats. That's a little sad. I love Big Cam. All right, so we are heavily negative in the money, which is a little scary. Mahomes gets MVP of both the Super Bowl and the league. Puka Nacua and Max Crosby are your players of the year. All right, big W's all around. We might not be able to bring as many people back as I was hoping, because we are super negative. Super, super negative in the money. Mahomes looking good. Vega's looking good. Offensive line's looking great. That Xavier Worthy run was, or passing and run after the catch was pretty crazy. Cordova's going to be our starting number 2 D tackle, I would assume. Players ready to negotiate. What do we got? We got McDuffie. We got Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice. Ooh. Okay, so there actually are some pretty important people here. We need McDuffie, Rice, and Worthy all back. How are we going to do that? Good old-fashioned restructuring. That's how we're going to do this. So let's restructure Mahomes again. Let's restructure Chris Jones. Let's restructure Trey Smith. Let's restructure Karl Loftus and Creed Humphrey. Leo Chenal. Not Nick Bolton, but Hollywood Brown. Pacheco. Basically everybody we can. Although we're getting to the point where it's not affecting too much. Harrison Butker. That was a good amount. Or not Harrison Butker. Abraham Lucas. Now Harrison Butker. Which restructuring a kicker is just kind of crazy. All right, so that freed up $37 million. That's not going to be enough to get all 3, I don't think. Rashee Rice might be a victim, unfortunately. McDuffie's got to come back. That's pretty obvious. So McDuffie will return. And he's going to be back, thank God. But Xavier Worthy I need back as well, so we're going to accept his option. Rashee Rice might be a victim of cap penalties here. Drew Tranquil, I would like to bring back also. Mike Dana. Ugh, we're going to lose some very valuable pieces. I might need to trade Rashee Rice, which seems a little weird, but I don't really have an option, do I? I don't have the money to do so. I could franchise tag him, but for 1 season, 1 extra season we're going, it's not really the end of the world if I trade him. And I could probably get something pretty solid in return. Like a Josh Downs would probably not be a bad idea. Or a James Pierce Jr. Ooh. There's actually some, and Matthew Golden as well. There's some really, really good options. Some good D-tackle depth as well. Mike Hall Jr. Quentin Johnson be fun. Josh Downs, it's either going to be Josh Downs or it's going to be James Pierce Jr. I just don't know which one it is. We could use edge because we're going to lose on Sankwell. But he's not an edge, he's a linebacker. But we're also losing the other edge. We're losing Mike Dana. So maybe James Pierce Jr. would be the best fit for us. Josh Downs would be cool, but I think I'm going to go James Pierce Jr. I think that makes the most sense, especially if we're losing Mike Dana, which we probably are going to let him go. So James Pierce Jr. will just fill that spot. Shamari Connor and Dana might be able to bring us a nice pairing. So maybe we tag those guys together. So let's put Connor and Dana together and see what we can bring back. We got Josh Whitlock, a running back. Adonai Mitchell might not be a bad one. Dante Thornton, Amani Hooker. I like the Dante Thornton one. Jerzon Newton's cool as well. We could use an extra D tackle because Derek Nottie might not be much, but Adonai Mitchell I kind of like. I kind of like both of these, really. Hold on, let me take a look at our team here for a second. So if I go for wide receiver, we have Xavier Worthy, we have Hollywood Brown, we have Tyquan Thornton, plus the guy Emmett Hand who we drafted. So we could use an Adonai Mitchell. That might not be a bad idea. But what about D tackle? We have Cordova, who's going to be backing up Chris Jones, and they're going to be the 1-2 punch. So we don't necessarily need another D tackle. So I think trading for Adonai Mitchell probably would be the best idea. So let's do that. Let's trade for Adonai Mitchell, and I could probably even trade Derek Nottie because he's kind of just regressing pretty heavily. Who can I get? I can get Woody Marks back. You know what? Give me Woody Marks. Sure, why not? Why not? What else can I trade? Probably some other stuff. Let me go back to the negotiations here for a second. So we got Adonai Mitchell, we got Christian Fulton. I might need to trade away, and there's Drew Tranquil. Okay, so let's pair Christian Fulton. Actually, you know what? I could probably re-sign Christian Fulton, can't I? He's not that expensive, is he? No, I can get him back. He's going to come back. Okay, so we had enough to get Christian Fulton back, but I'm not going to pay $60 million for Mac Jones, that's for sure. Let me try to pass away Drew Tranquil for somebody. What kind of values? He got no trade value. Okay. What kind of will linebacker options are we going to need? Demetrius Knight Jr., star dev. Superstar dev, I mean. Ooh, that's kind of intriguing. We might come back to him. Mac Wilson. Dion Henley. How expensive is Dion Henley? 10.9 million. It's a little bit too expensive for me. We could afford it, but I don't really want to. Shahad Campbell and Zach Bond. Shahad Campbell's developing like crazy. Devin Bush, D. Winters, Micah McFadden, Quincy Williams, Quay Walker. This rookie guy, Logan Perry, is interesting, but he's probably going to be a little bit valuable, so we probably shouldn't go after him. I kind of like the idea of that Bengals linebacker. He's superstar dev. He's not that expensive. He's $2 million. We can make this work. And we don't need draft picks because this is the final year, so we can give up like a third-round pick in 2029. Or maybe even a second-round pick in 2029, I guess, if they want to be a little bit more stingy. And they will. So Tranquil goes to the Bengals along with a second-round pick. We get back his replacement. And maybe I should trade some first-round picks to get a number one at a certain position. So let me generate the best lineup here. So we add in Adonai Mitchell. Offensive line looks fantastic. Defense, we've got Knight in there now. Chanel's great. Bolton's great. Strong safety is probably the last big need. Although we could use a big-time number one corner. There's James Pierce Jr. now. So we need like a number one corner, or not a number one corner, but a third corner, and maybe a number one strong safety. Is there any way I can trade I think that's everybody that I want to resign. So let's get to free agency first. Is there any way I can trade a couple of first-round picks for a big-time strong safety? Probably. There's probably a way I can do it. Zay Flowers available. Marlon Humphrey. He has no offers. Jair Alexander has some offers. Well, if I'm going to need a corner, Marlon Humphrey is the corner I could use. Unfortunately, he's a little bit too expensive. And I don't think he's going to take this offer. If I do team friendly, that's still not that. It's not going to work. He's asking for too much money. We only have 3.8 million. But those two, one of these two would be amazing to have. It's just not going to work out for us, unfortunately. So maybe I can find a way to trade for either a big corner or a big safety. Maybe both. So what kind of safeties are we working with here? Grant Delpit, superstar dev now. Buda Baker, Derwin James, Cam Bynum. Who sticks out to me? Who pops out? Jabril Peppers on the Jaguars. Hey, they finally fixed Tony Adams' picture. Thank God. His head was massive in his previous portrait picture. Glad they finally fixed it. Brian Branch is interesting. I do like the idea of Brian Branch, but he's probably going to be more than just a first round pick. Jeremy Chin, Kyle Hamilton would be cool. Let me try Brian Branch. How valuable is he? Well, he's valuable because he's too expensive. That's how valuable he is. So we're going to have to go for somebody that's a little bit cheaper than that. So not Kyle Hamilton. But Nick Amanawari could be cool. No trade packages for him. Okay, they need a Mike linebacker. All I have is Nick Bolton. They need a quarterback. I have Ashton Gelati. Do you want Ashton Gelati on the edge? What does that do? It's not a lot, is it? How about Uzama? Oops. About the same value. Okay, so I can start throwing first round picks at you and see what happens. That does a lot out the gates. That's a good start. What about a third round pick in 2028? Very close. What about a second round pick in 2028? Probably should have went the other way. That gets it. So we got our new strong safety, Nick Amanawari. Okay, that works. But now the only thing we could use is an extra corner. The last thing we need is a third corner. So what kind of third corners can we grab? Cooper DeJean, Quinion Mitchell. We're gonna need somebody that's not super valuable because we only have the one first round pick to be able to toss their way. Terrion Arnold might not be a bad idea. I wouldn't hate Terrion Arnold on the team. J.C. Horn probably is too valuable. He's too expensive anyway. Riley Moss is a Patriot now. Okay. Ooh, the Rams are in desperate need of a corner. Quincy Riley and Kool-Aid McKinstry might not be bad. Tariq Woolen's in like trade conversations in real life. How the mighty have fallen for him. Jalen Petre's a corner now? I thought he was a safety. He must have moved. Roger McCreary would be interesting. Byron Murphy. Too expensive. I'm seeing a couple of names, but everybody's too expensive. Benjamin Morrison I've seen dominate. He's probably not that valuable, although the Bucks have no money. Nobody has ever has any money. It's hard to trade when nobody has any money in the cap to be able to trade with. We might just have to go back to my initial idea of Terran Honor, but I didn't notice they didn't have any money either. Oh my god. Everybody is just got zero cap room. And the teams that have cap room have no good corners. Saints have cap room. They have Quincy Riley and Kool-Aid. How much is Kool-Aid? A first round pick that's actually next year's first round pick. You know what? I can do that. I was going to give up a first round pick probably anyway, so I'll accept that. Now we have our third corner in Kool-Aid. And I think we got even better. So we adjust the lineup. We add in Adonai Mitchell. We go to the defense. We add in Amanawari. We add in Kool-Aid McKinstry. Yeah, I like this team a lot. We patched those holes that we were going to have when we couldn't re-sign anybody. So let's get to the draft and start cooking here. Let's start cooking. Let's start cooking. We're going to have the final pick in the first round, obviously. What would we even need is the biggest question. So we're not going to need quarterback, obviously. I guess we could use a fourth corner. There are a couple of round 1 to 2 talents in here. Some of these corners don't look horrible. Let me scout. I don't think I need to scout anybody else. All these guys kind of look whatever. You know what? Let me scout Stanley Kincaid. I'll scout him, and then maybe we look at linebacker. Not really quite sure what I want to do. Give me Michael Alfaro, and then probably just a D tackle, I would assume. Let me scout this guy, Scott Greco. Those will be my three guys that we scout. We're just going for backups at this point because we don't really have any spots on the starting role for anybody. Let me take a look at how good those guys actually were, though. So we got the corner. He ends up being round one as well. So we have our pick of a round one true talent corner that can be our fourth corner. And then the Sam linebacker ends up being a true round 2 to 3. Okay, he still looks pretty solid, but he is a round 2 to 3. And then the D tackle is a round 1 to 2. All right, all right. So we got some ideas of who we might want. We got some ideas. Let's skip to our pick, final pick of the first round, and what is available. So we got all the quarterbacks still on the board. We don't have any corners on the board. Wow, they all got taken before pick 32. So did the Sam linebacker. So did the D tackle. Wow, everybody that I scouted got taken. That's kind of crazy. I guess we'll just take Rashad Marshall. Why not? He ends up being number 38 in true value. He's hidden depth. Finally, I drafted a hidden depth player. I can't believe everybody that I scouted got picked in the 31 picks before me. What are the odds of that? There's not one guy that I scouted that was still available. Second round quarterbacks. Let's grab ourselves a second round quarterback. Artie Huff. You want yourself a Super Bowl ring? You might as well go to the Chiefs. He ends up being number 69 in true value. Nice. He actually looks pretty decent. If I was playing a real franchise with the Chiefs and I drafted this guy, I would be okay with having him. He looks pretty good. But since the draft didn't go the way that I thought, because I thought we'd have at least one of the guys that I wanted, none of them were available. We still ended up with two hidden depth players, so I can't be too mad about that. 75 for Rashad Marshall, 73 for Artie Huff, 66 for another guy they took a corner. Yeah, the rest of these guys are kind of just cheeks. That's okay. They're a bunch of jabronis. The best in the class was a couple 81 overall players. A tight end, Dom Wilbon, ends up being an 81 overall from Iowa. What do you expect? Tight ends from Iowa, that's the archetype. If you see a tight end from Iowa, he's most likely going to be pretty good. But the rest of this class is not that good. Not that good. Another kind of buns class. 2 in a row for this rebuild. Luckily, we haven't needed to draft that well for us to be good. But we head into the final season, season number 3. Can we go back to back, or will we fall due to Madden simulation? I don't know. I like this team a lot. We made some big upgrades. We replaced some holes, and I think this team could be better than last year. And last year, we won the Super Bowl. So how much better can we be? Undefeated 17-0? Let's find out. The final season is in the books, and we were the number 1 seed for the second time in these 3 years. 13 wins for the Kansas City Chiefs, which I think is what we had last year, funny enough. And we were in the Super Bowl, and we were the wild card. So it's funny how that works. 4,700 yards, 41 touchdowns for Patrick Mahomes. Maybe a third straight MVP? I don't know. We'll find out. Rushing numbers, Pacheco has his best season. 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns, 5.2 per carry. Good season from Isaiah Pacheco. 3 1,000-yard receivers, including Tyquan Thornton. Why couldn't you do this for New England? Unbelievable. 1,200 yards for Xavier Worthy with 10 touchdowns. Hollywood Brown had 1,100 yards with 9 touchdowns. And then Thornton had 1,000 with 9 touchdowns. Vega also had a good year. 897 with 7 touchdowns. Defensively, we had Leo Chenal 3 times in a row, right? I don't think it was it Leo Chenal last year who led the team in tackle? I don't think it was. I think it was Drew Tranquil. Too many white boys. I think it's the 3rd year in a row we've had a different tackle leader, which is not usually what happens when you have Nick Bolton on your team. But 144 tackles for Chenal, 131 for Bolton, a 98 for the new addition Nick Amanwari, whatever his name is. Brian Cook had 92. Tackle for loss leader was James Pierce Jr. with 13. He had a big season. Chris Jones had 10, 7 for Nick Bolton, and the sack leader tied at 11.5 for both Pierce Jr. and Chris Jones, 9 for Karlaftis. And then we had interception numbers, 5 for the new strong safety Amanwari, 3 for Cook, 2 for Kool-Aid, 2 for Noel Williams. Very good numbers. I'm glad that a lot of our new additions actually made impactful plays and impactful moments. They actually did some stuff. Are we going to beat the Dolphins in the division round? Yes, we are. We beat them handedly, and we will take on the Cincinnati Bengals in the AFC Championship for a chance to go 2 straight Super Bowls. Can we do it? Gotta beat Joe Shiesty. AFC Championship again from Arrowhead as the Bengals come into town to try to spark something like they had back in, what was that, 2021 or something when they made it to the Super Bowl, lost to the Rams. I don't think they're going to do it. There's no miracle in Cincinnati this year. It's not happening. The Chiefs are the evil empire, and they are going to take down the Bengals, and it looks like we are. 21-7 now. It was 21-0 for a little bit. And it is 28-7. Yeah, this one's over. This one is all over. And there it is. Back-to-back appearances in the Super Bowl for the Kansas City Chiefs. We have rebuilt this team. We've turned them around. We stopped them from their horrible start that they had in real life this year. Maybe they don't even make the playoffs in real life this year, but at least in this alternate universe, instead of having a 1-4 start, they are now 3 years deep and have a Super Bowl back under their repertoire. And now they're playing for another one. Who are we going to play? A rematch against the Eagles? Who we got? Show me the money. It is the Atlanta Falcons. The man that we took from them, James Pierce Jr., has to play his former team. And Noel Williams now a 92 overall, by the way. Wow. A Super Bowl for the ages. Falcons, Chiefs. Can we really go back-to-back? It would be one of the first times in Madden 26 I've gone back-to-back in a rebuild before. Usually it doesn't happen because the Madden simulation hates me, and I hate it. But this could be a different case. We could go back-to-back right here. The Super Bowl of all Super Bowls. Can we go back-to-back? Chiefs, Falcons. If Mahomes goes back-to-back, he's considered the greatest quarterback not named Tom Brady. It's 14-7 Chiefs. We're driving. We score again, 21-7. We have the ball again. Uh-oh, but it's not looking good. Maybe the Falcons can get it on the board. They do. This is looking a little sketch balls. Falcons, they tie it with 8 seconds left. I can't believe my eyes. What are the odds of that? By the way, Vega is Superstar Dev. I don't know if you caught that right there. Superstar Dev for Vega. He's going up for it. I tried it. I really did. I tried it all. I can't believe that they've tied it. We are going to go to overtime unless something crazy happens. I'm going to try to get something crazy to happen, but I don't think anything crazy is going to happen. I'll try a vertical route. I mean, we've got some speed at the receiver position. Adonai Mitchell, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, all really fast. Just try something here. Hollywood Brown! It's almost caught. Incomplete, and we'll go to overtime. I think Jesse Bates got in there. I don't know if that's still Jesse Bates or not, but that almost worked. Oh, that ball would have been a little bit farther over this shoulder. It would have been a touchdown. I can't believe the Falcons tied it. I can't believe it. Coin toss for the Falcons. The Chiefs have won the toss, and we will kick it, right? I think we want to kick it and start on defense. I'm pretty sure that's how you want to do it. I don't remember. Who cares about the overtime rules? Who needs to know them? Let's go to the Super Sim and see if the defense can actually hold up. 2nd and 12, 3rd and 12, 4th and 12. They punted it back to us. All right, well, here we go. Here we go. What a punt, by the way. They have us at the 2. Isaiah Pacheco trying to get some space. Didn't really find the right gap there. Did not really find the right gap. Let's try another run, I guess. I don't really like a 2nd down 9 run, but I don't really think that there's much option here. I'm not going to get sacked. Pacheco, really big 2nd and 9 run. Look at Isaiah Pacheco. Oh my God, that was the right idea. Good call by Andy Reid. That was the right idea for sure. That got so many yards. We're already at the 21-yard line. Handoff, Pacheco again. He's got more room. Isaiah Pacheco for another first. Oh, they gave him inches on it. Never mind, they gave him inches. But already we are at the 31, and we got Woody Marks out there. Look at the boy, Woody. And the blocking. Look at the blocking from the boys. And Woody Marks taking it across the midfield to 39-yard line. Oh, my God. The run game has been impeccable in this overtime period. Mahomes hasn't had to pass it once. It's crazy. This is actually insane right now. We've reached almost target field goal range for Harrison Butker. Look at Pacheco. Now we're in field goal range for Butker if we are forced to do that. But I'd rather walk it off with a touchdown. I think a field goal wins it because they've already had a possession. So I think a field goal would do the trick. But I want to win it with a touchdown. Xavier Worthy gets us a first down a little bit closer at the 11. Just a wee bit closer. We are running out of time. I don't want to run myself out of overtime here. That'd be a little awkward. Let's go underneath. That's going to be caught by Xavier Worthy to the 6. Good job. You know what? Let me just call a timeout here. Let me just calm everybody down. Don't want to, like I said, don't want to run myself out of the overtime period. The run game was immaculate to get us to this spot in the first place. And then a little bit of an overthrow. I thought if I timed that a little better, it would be an unbelievable catch. It would have been an unbelievable catch. Unfortunately, I didn't time it. 3rd and 5. I think this is a Hollywood Brown catch. And it is. Touchdown Chiefs. And that is back-to-back Super Bowls for the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, we rebuilt them. We've turned Kansas City back into the dynasty they once were. Now, the only problem with this dynasty is it's a very expensive dynasty. We have a lot of money tied up in some very expensive old players. Chris Jones making a lot of money. Mahomes obviously making a lot of money. A lot of guys are making a ton of cash. But hey, that can all be worked out when you have 2 Super Bowl rings as part of the dynasty. Another championship for the Chiefs faithful. I wonder if that one mascot dude, what was he called? Chiefsaholic or something? The one that robbed a bank or something? I wonder if he's watching in prison as he celebrates his Chiefs winning a championship. 2 championships in a row. We did it. And we have rebuilt the Kansas City Chiefs. We've stopped them from being a bad football team. It's what they're looking like they're going to be this year. And we've turned them around. We've gotten them back to where they once were. Yeah, a negative 106 million. Good thing we're not going any further than this. Mahomes is MVP of the Super Bowl, but Josh Allen stops the three-peat at the MVP. He takes the league MVP. Wan'Dale Robinson and Micah Parsons are the Offensive Player of the Year and Defensive Player. Not something I would have expected. Wan'Dale Robinson doesn't usually win Offensive Player of the Year. The Giants must have had a crazy season. Maybe Jackson Dart is the real deal Shaquille O'Neal. Let's take one final look at this lineup. We made a few changes here and there. We didn't do anything too crazy, but we traded for Abraham Lucas. We traded Jawan Taylor for Abraham Lucas. We brought in Woody Marks, who had a big playoff run in that Super Bowl. We brought in Adonai Mitchell. We drafted Vega, who was a normal dev player, but then we put him in the Travis Kelce role, and he goes up to superstar dev. He's a freak. And then on defense, we added in Knight and James Pierce Jr., and we drafted Cordova. We brought in Nick Amanawari. We brought in Kool-Aid McKinstry. We got our fingerprints on our little stubby, little greasy little fingerprints on this Chiefs roster. Chanel goes up to superstar dev, by the way. And I like what I say. I mean, Noel Williams turned into a freak, an absolute legitimate freak at X Factor. If we didn't have Chet McDuffie, he'd be easy best corner on the team. Pacheco's superstar dev, by the way. I didn't even notice that. That's going to do it for the video, though. Oh, Hollywood Brown superstar. Was he already? I think he was already superstar. Never mind. That's going to do it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If it did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Like I said earlier, if you have a suggestion for a team you want to see me rebuild in the future, leave them down below in the comments, and I will take them on in a future rebuild video. That's going to do it for me, though. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.